Okay, guys, hey, so before we get started, y'all know what to do. Y'all know how, go ahead and click that button if you have not. If we've already been friends or you've been coming to see me, go ahead and click that button and subscribe, okay? Before we get into it, 2 seconds, y'all always say 2 seconds, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, but now we're going to get into this live with Nadjah and Jeff that happened 3 a.m. last night, okay? But I must give credit where credit is due. If you have not, because I was not, I can't give credit and say I was up at 3 a.m. this morning because I was not. But go ahead, go to Romance Review TV. Make sure you subscribe to that channel and check out the live, and also check out her review and check out those comments, and then come back to me and we can talk and break it down. Like, let's talk about it. And we're going to also break down some of Tigerlily's actions as well. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, first of all, let me say, I do not know what Jeff put on Nadjah in that hideaway, but whatever it was, she does not want to let that thing go. We were talking about possessive. Nadjah has her claws in Jeff, and she don't want to let go, and that's what we're gonna say that, okay? They asked the burning questions that we wanted to know, because it is strange just given it. It's just strange given all of the emotions and the self-love talks that we saw when we see Nadjah kind of moving with Jeff the way she's moving. Again, like I said in my last video, I'm not going, these people are young, you are learning as you go. I do still say proceed with caution. And now at this point, my words are only truly for Jeff, because, like, when you got some stuff on the line to the point where people don't feel comfortable kind of letting you go places, like, we don't want you, he still obviously can't discuss the situation with Tigerlily. And it sounded like kind of like the whole situation in the villa. When you got somebody willing to spill it all, I'm just saying, you may want to be cautious, but I don't necessarily believe that it's in a malicious way. Maybe, just young, dumb, drunk, stupid, whatever. Be cautious. And obviously, her emotions were probably still running high, which, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt at the reunion, because it was taped so close. So emotions still could have been pretty high for her. And, she's been giving these speeches of kind of just, and really just that back information, still kind of saying that Jeff is a nice guy, and, but this is my worth, this is that. And so we saw that once there. We saw it on after we've seen it, I feel like at least 3 times, where it's kind of like, this is my word. This is not what I accept. This is not. And so when you see her with Jeff, and she seems extremely comfortable, and we see the other islanders, and we're starting to hear more about what transpired in the villa, and we're starting to learn that there was several, whether you want to call them altercations, situations, whatever, but amongst other islanders as well. So Jeff was not an isolated incident where it was just Jeff. Did Jeff have more than one incident? Obviously, Nadjah did spill the tea on that in her After the Island interview. So we know that there were other incidents with Jeff. But what we also are finding out from other islanders is that, and again, with no malice, just saying, you're in a situation where you're isolated and it can get tense. Emotions can run high. People are, you're in emotional situations, okay? And so, of course, they didn't want to air that kind of stuff, because it's not Fighting Island. It's not, Trap Island. It is Love Island. So we want to keep in the essence of love. And obviously, with the situation with Jeff and Nadjah, and we had already had a few disappearing acts happen, like with Kyle. So we had to have some kind of background to be given as to why Jeff and Nadjah left. So understandably so, we understand why that particular incident was aired the way it was. But as we see Nadjah, it's not giving them same speeches. Like what was said and knows is not given. But she seems extremely comfortable. They seem to really enjoy each other's company. I will say that. But she was definitely willing to spill all the tea. Jeff was very tight-lipped, but, he's saying that there's no love lost. Several of the other islanders were willing to come, kind of giving shout-outs. So you see that there's support there. And so that's always great to see. And, and I'm hoping that everybody's able to move forward. It's nice that, they are able to move forward and make money. But, we're just going to see, because it's a little awkward. It is a little awkward, y'all. Because it is because it's like bestie, my bestie would not throw me under the bus. And, because it was almost like you threw me under the bus, you ran me over, and you reversed just to pick up and get me back on the bus. So I'm, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of, because y'all know y'all been there sometimes, maybe with your best friend where you got into it or something, or words were exchanged. But my best friend not gonna tell all my business, or at least if you tell it, you're not gonna tell, without giving a perspective of saying, oh, like, I think I would even feel different about their situationship if. But again, y'all let me know. This is a learning process. So I know people are young and learning how to deal. So I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. But I will say, if she would have gone on some of those things and not constantly, I felt like it was almost, I don't know, like she was talking to a feminist crowd, or just because I don't want to say clout chasing for like a certain group to say, women's rights and we're working together and this is not what we're going to stand for, just to kind of come back and not stand for it, so that wears me out. But if she would have just kind of, like I said, just not thrown them under the bus, given the background information, it would have been totally different experience than when we've been looking at it like, or even just no comment, like Jeff's a good guy. He had a moment, and like that would kind of be it. But I guess the constant, this is not what we stand for. This is not what I want my little baby sister to see. So it is given just a little awkward for me. But what I must say is they both seem like they're having fun. They both seem like, all is forgiven. But I want Jeff to be able to speak on this stuff, like, and not even just like in an effort to not let go and, just to see drama or to hear mess. But when you have so many people speaking on you, but I must say the Islanders themselves, actually, because nobody really has thrown him under the bus or given any other information except Nadjah. Nadjah is the only one and the only reason we even know that there were other incidents. And the only reason people expound upon them being other incidents is because of Nadjah's interview. And so, of course, they asked some of the other Islanders who were very tight-lipped. So, I want him to be able to speak for himself and to be able to say, this, but it's all love. Like, so just whatever. So he can, you want to be able to speak up for yourself, especially like if people are, speaking bad on your name. But I must say they have gotten a lot of love. So that has been beautiful to see because you just want to see it. So now let me also say with Tigerlily, because of her claims are serious. And as somebody who has, if you've seen some of my older videos, and if you haven't, this is a great opportunity to go check out some of my Cocoa Wednesdays from the past. And I talk about some of my own personal experience. So in my own personal experience, you can know why I would take it serious, what Tigerlily's allegations are. And I will always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But when you're moving funny, I'm going to still call that out too. Because it's giving clout chasing. We may talk about Nadjah possibly clout chasing and using Jeff kind of, because like Jeff said, America loves Jeff. So just as much as Nadjah could be clout chasing in a different way, Tigerlily is definitely like she's trying to get in people's DMs and she's talking about how she feels rejected, how nobody is, like inviting to her. Now, what I will say is like the other Islanders, especially the girls, they are standing, they don't know you. They didn't get to have that experience with you. So could they open up still just as a Love Island family? Of course they could. But anytime you make those kind of allegations, first of all, it's best to just keep quiet and kind of, let your lawyers or whatever kind of, handle that. Or if you choose to go speak to media outlets, which as she has, then you do that and let that kind of speak for itself before, understandably so, why nobody would kind of feel comfortable letting you in there because they don't know the ins and outs and nobody wants to get caught up in that mess. And certainly the guys over there don't want to get caught up in it because if their name's not in it, I'll be doggone if you're going to drag me in it. So it makes complete sense. But y'all got to go see some of her TikToks because she's definitely out there and it does make it a little bit more challenging. Well, let me just say, because it takes away from the credibility of some of her allegations, how she's moving. But should they still be investigated? Of course, do whatever, do your due diligence, as I would assume any employer would do. Do your due diligence. But how she's moving does take away credibility from some of what she was saying. And as other things are coming out, possible tweets that were deleted before, where she just kind of seemed like she possibly could have been just salty that she wasn't picked, and then came about the story. So allegedly, it's just a lot going on there. Yeah, and so same thing like with Nadjah, the way Nadjah's acting, which is a good thing for Jeff because she seems so caught up and she seems so comfortable that, if he was this volatile person as you claim, or as opposed to just a moment in time. Now, because when we talk about aggression, I like to be very cautious with aggression because that, y'all know how I feel about labels and especially minorities, because I think it can be taken so far off to the deep end. Passionate. I definitely think Jeff is authentic. He's a very real person. Sometimes maybe he should hold back when he doesn't, but he's definitely a passionate person. So in saying that, I want to make sure that doesn't get lost in the sauce. So that's what I got. So Nadjah's down there on the bottle. Somebody needs to take it away. It looks like Jeff is headed to LA. So hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of him and just get a little bit more insight. Again, hopefully he's continuing to grow. It seems like he was very mindful of what not to say. So it shows he has some kind of control. And even when Nadjah, they were talking about what's she gonna get into, and he was like, talking about Ciroc, and then she kind of said, oh, and me, even he was kind of like, chill, cut it out, because if we talk about how we represent ourselves, I like that he, calm down, this is not how we're gonna represent ourselves, okay? But so it is just good as we get these lives, because the reunion was a little bit tough because we didn't get all that we wanted, but a lot of these lives are giving the things, the behind the scenes looks, and allowing us as the viewers to kind of piece it all together and get the bigger picture of what actually went on. And so, we're going to still keep at it. We're going to stay with Jeff and Nadjah and see where this goes and where it takes us. I love it. I love that we have turned a negative moment into some positive. So I love the sprinkles of smiles. So if Jeff's happy and he's eating his wings and that's what he wants to do and Nadjah's down with it, I'm down with it. It's okay with me, just as long as everybody's going in with full transparency and knows the possible complications and consequences of what you say. Okay, so just be mindful. Don't get passion confused with something else, okay? And if you feel like it's something else, then I'm gonna need you to step away and not keep going back. Tigerlily, I need you to be mindful. It's all about mindfulness this morning, okay, guys? So I need you to be mindful of how you move, what you say, because what you don't want to do, if something is true, you don't want it to take away from your story, and then people lose sight of what the truth, and I'm using truth, I'm only using quotes because I don't know, I wasn't there, so I'm allegedly what took place. But how you're moving is not looking good, okay? So I need you to go have a seat, okay? And also, since I'm bringing up other people, I'm just going to side note this, because when we talk about credibility, and I'm bringing this up for everybody because how you move does affect sometimes how the people's trust with you, because if you've shown yourself as a liar, I don't know what to believe. Miss Phoebe has been complaining about death threats. Now, y'all know I was not a Phoebe fan, and many of you agree with me and were not Phoebe fans as well. However, there is no reason, if this is true, Phoebe has been complaining. She said she had up to 900 death threats. That is insane. There is nothing she did that warrants a death threat. First of all, there's really nothing in life that really warrants a death threat. Unless somebody's in the moment harming somebody. But no, there is no reason that Phoebe, that I'm it wasn't even real relationships. This is Love Island. It's a show. It's a show, guys. So if you are really upset and can't stand Phoebe, let's talk about it. We don't have to get angry. I personally, y'all will see me talk about people. I do not like some things, but you will never see me, you will never see my name under going on somebody's Instagram, because you don't have to do that. I don't want to take that to you because you don't know how that can affect somebody, one. But these are what these spaces are created, where we can talk about the likes, the dislikes. But when it comes to death threats, that's completely unacceptable and unnecessary. But when I talk about credibility also, I don't know off of what Phoebe gave, because there were several, like we talked about Chaz a lot getting caught in his lies, but there were several things that Phoebe lied on. And so her credibility to me, I don't know. I don't know necessarily that I trust it. Could she have had some death threats? Possibly. 900, I don't even know if people cared enough to give her that much. But if she says so, it definitely could have happened. But again, I don't know if she came out, because sometimes we have a different idea in our heads of how we present it. And she might have known there was some hate, but maybe she didn't expect it to that level. Because Zeta has even said, like fall back, because, it's just the hate seems unwarranted. Now, obviously, at that point, Zeta had not watched the show fully back, so maybe, and she said that, and she said maybe her opinion would change about Phoebe, but it still doesn't warrant the level of hate. But, you don't know, like, are you clout chasing because you want sympathy? Because we've seen several instances in the villa where Phoebe has kind of twisted words, I felt, to kind of get appeal to emotions, kind of. And I wouldn't put past her to be manipulative. I would hope that she would never use something in that moment that serious to be manipulative. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But if you are, definitely, if you feel it in your spirit to say something that ugly to anybody, any of the Islanders, let's talk about it in the comments. I am not a therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist. But what we can do is we can talk about it. This is what this space is for. It is always in love, no matter whether you agree, no matter the comments, whatever. It's always in love. It's never anything malice. So you will never see me trying to give you a read, okay, just because you don't agree with me. Now, granted, if you come at me disrespectful, I know how to talk back, but it's good. It's still all in love, y'all. So go ahead and click that button. Make sure you are subscribed. I'm going to keep you up to date. We as a community, I'm going to, and if I can't find it, then I'm going to look and source it out for where you don't have to, and we can find it all in one place. So definitely, let's go on this journey. I'm so excited for September. I got some new shows lined up. So I definitely hope you guys journey with me, and I'm going to continue to share a little bit more about my life and kind of get back into that as well. But I look forward to growing with you guys and connecting. I will always, if you notice, like if you go back through all of my videos, I always try to respond to everybody. So definitely know that you will be reached out to, and we are connected. I genuinely mean that in my heart of hearts. So I am so grateful for everybody's support. I thank you, and I look forward to chatting with you guys soon. You guys have a beautiful, safe Labor Day weekend. Talk to you soon.